I feel a sense of empowerment. I'm incredibly humble by the experience to be the first woman president in the history of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry. However, I just don't see it as a personal achievement. I think it's a breakthrough for gender equality in business leadership in Guyana because I'm very proud of the many women who would have paved the way and even honored to stand on their shoulders so that they could allow women like myself and girls to continue to dream. At the same time, it comes with a profound sense of duty. So I know every decision I make, every initiative I take, every culture I try to shape would be looked as precedent. So I approach this position as much as I feel empowered. However, I approach it with a sense of transparency, innovation, and of course, inclusivity. Because what I don't want is for another 5 years, the conversation is around Cathy was the first and only woman president at the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, or even the other major business support organization. I just don't want it to be about me because I have seen the many work that went into it. Because let's not forget those individuals, like the men in business, were supportive of seeing women be in the room and not just be in the room in a position where they can take notes or just to be secretaries, right? But women sitting at a table making bold decisions and being part of the conversation. So I want this to continue. So as I execute during my term, I will be taking that into consideration, that I was given an opportunity to be the first, but it would not be the last. I would not allow it to be the last. I think business was something I was always intrigued by. As a teenager in high school, when I got into fourth form, like everybody, you're introduced to a different subject area. Principle of business was quite exciting. Principle of accounts, these are things you've never heard before. And in studying them, it piqued my interest as to there is a way that I can be successful other than in education. So when I wrote CXC, my first year at CXC wasn't one that I'm proud of. So I redo the subjects at a different school, and I came out as the best graduating student at that school. And I started to teach principle of business and other business subject areas, and I think there is where it all started. So I knew from a long time that being a teacher wouldn't be a career that I wanted. So I went straight to University of Guyana instead of going to Sir Porter College of Education. Of course, I pursued a business degree at the University of Guyana. And then I was introduced to corporate Guyana in various leadership positions. But even then, I sensed that I want to contribute more, and I couldn't do that as an employee, right? Not taken away from employment. I know a lot of people in employment who are creating waves and being impactful. But for me, I sense that I can do something more impactful in entrepreneurship. And I went into business around 2018, going into 2019, and I didn't look back. But while pushing with business, I realized that I need to get myself and my business out there in a more structured manner, not just buying and selling. I think there was more to business in Guyana than just buying and selling. So I joined the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry in 2022. And I realized I had a few committees, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to sit on one of those committees because my area in business, I'm part of the construction industry where I'm considered a waterproofing specialist. So I import and distribute chemicals, construction chemicals, waterproofing chemicals. So I joined the construction and HSSE committee, and I quickly moved to the position of vice chair of the committee. Then the following year, I was elected to council, and I started to chair the HR and capacity building committee. Then the year after that, I was re-elected to council, and then I started to chair the petroleum committee, and then I became the senior vice president of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And then, of course, we know where that led to. So being president, it just didn't happen overnight. It was a lot of work that went into it, and a lot of intentional work, I must say, because you were there many times that women and even owners of small businesses complain that there is not a place for them at the table. So I decided once I get to the table, once I get into the room, I'm going to stay there.